Community Viewpoint.
Hello and welcome to Community Viewpoint. I'm your host, Maria Guerra, for this segment. I have the wonderful pleasure of having this awesome guest tonight, Mr. Jim McCoy. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
So we're just going to jump right in. So tell me who you are.
My name is Jim McCoy. I own the All About Hemp store at 1400 South Highway 160, right in the same building with Pahrump Pistachios.
Okay.
And I'm also a local farmer of both hemp and medical cannabis.
Awesome. And tell me, what started you in this industry?
My wife developed fibromyalgia, and it was extremely debilitating. For 4 months, she was just curled up in the fetal position on the couch and could not do anything. She was beyond the point of being able to cry. So we spent a lot of time, resources, and basically the only help we found was the good old opiate pills. So she did those for a number of years, and they ended up, they cause really bad things because it slows your metabolism down. So she had to have some surgery on some of her insides, and it
also
was just,
causes respiratory trouble as well.
yeah, it's a horrible experience. And so when medical marijuana, when they talked about it in the state, I said, let's investigate it. Let's see, maybe there's a path there. So we were visiting family up in Oregon, and we made a purchase. And so she smoked marijuana for a month. And at the end of the month, I asked her, I said, well, hon, how
Is it working?
is it working? And she said, it feels like I'm on the right path. I'm doing a couple pills less a day, but I just feel better. I said, okay, well, let's get you a card because we don't want to lose the house. Right?
Yeah.
So we got her a card, and I got a cultivator's license.
So you got the license, and that's how everything got started.
Yes. And then I started growing.
Okay.
And after one of my first, and a lot of research, of course, always research, right? And so I made a tincture. It was a high THC tincture, right at the beginning. And so she was doing this, and this is the alcohol, Everclear is the alcohol, right? She was putting that under her tongue 3 times a day. Hot, right? It's hot. So 3 times a day. And after a month, I asked her, I said, well,
now how do you feel?
And she said, I haven't taken a pill in 4 days.
Wow.
And I feel so much better.
Wow. No
Yeah.
more opiates. That's great.
Yeah. So she ended up, that was the last time she ever took any pills. And
that's amazing.
Yeah. And we haven't turned around since. But then a couple years later, they came up with the hemp program. And I said, well, let's try growing some hemp.
Yeah.
And so that's CBD, and so I started making products for her. And at first she was like, CBD, a lot of people do that. The people from the medical marijuana world say, if it ain't got no THC, then what medicine's it got? Well, it has a lot. And so she, on her own, slowly started experimenting to find out what works best for her. And
is it different for everybody?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Everybody has a different issue, a different chemical makeup, a different body size type.
Okay.
Right? So for everybody, it's different.
So tell me, they vary, right? So tell me some of the benefits, like some of the things that she has experienced. Like she's not taking pills anymore, but tell me just tell me about it.
So by not taking the pills, that meant that mental clarity came back, right? Like when she was really doing a lot of pills, I could never lose an argument.
Right.
C'est la vie to those days. So the mental clarity came back, but also we're talking about pain relief. We're talking about anxiety relief.
Okay.
And properly used.
And quality of life.
Quality of life, yes.
Okay.
And properly used, there's some big medical issues that cancer. I've seen people that had stage 4 lung cancer
And there's a long time ago, the only thing that was in like books or textbooks or anything was like the glaucoma, how it would help with glaucoma. But I've been hearing lately how CBD is helping, people's digestion and, just basic like her pain relief. And so, do you hear these stories now that you have the store? Are you getting all this good feedback now from people?
Yes, that's one thing with a store, especially in this community versus a bigger city where people just run in and out.
Right.
People come into our store and they tell us what their conditions are, and they come back and tell us how they've benefited.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I'm there.
And I've also even heard just from friends and some family members that their doctors are even telling them go to the CBD stores and try it. The medical doctors, like they're referring people over there because I'm glad now because of legalization. Now there's more things that can be made, more testing that can be done, and they're able to find out, all these things that they couldn't find out before.
Yeah.
All these benefits.
And it's interesting when you talk about those studies, the research, and Israel has been doing research for 40 years. The United States has dumped millions of dollars over there for the research, but because it's not in the United States, it's not U.S. research, we deny it all. The
Well,
government,
we can use it now.
The government does. No, the government still, the FDA, et cetera, still pretty much doesn't look at that because it's not a United States registered research or study.
It seems like though some states, like I think in Nevada, is getting on board. It seems like because there's like dispensaries now, and but I had went to Denver, and there was even a presentation at a conference from a nurse from a major hospital about all of the good things that are happening with the children and how there's children that are seizure free.
Yes.
From that. So so I think it's coming. I think it's coming because there was, this was a presentation at a conference of thousands of medical professionals, and a nurse from a major hospital did a presentation on behalf of the hospital about it, and it was amazing.
Yeah, there's a doctor at the Children's that works through the Children's Hospital in Boston.
Okay.
They gave him all of the patients that did not respond to any other of the modern medicines.
Okay.
And their point to know whether or not there was a reaction is these children needed to acknowledge the existence of another person. Okay. They gave him 1,000 of them.
Wow.
Right, and he was close to I don't remember, but it was close to a 90% success rate.
You can Google it. You can
Yeah.
Google it. Boston Children's Hospital Study, CBD. Yeah, just Google it.
I think it's Sanjay is the doctor's name.
Okay, all right. I love that doctors are being so proactive. I mean, just with nutrition in general, CBD and using vitamin C, you're seeing all these other things, and it's really nice that it's coming, there's more studies being done on the holistic approach in general. I mean, medications are still going to be there, I think, for certain things. But
hopefully.
But I mean, it's always nice. Like, it's always nice. Like, it's kind of like, it reminds me of like the chicken soup thing, like when you had a cold when you were little. Sometimes chicken soup would cure it. Sometimes it wouldn't, but sometimes it would.
Right.
So.
Or at least it made you feel good.
Yeah. Tell me, how does somebody take CBD?
So basically, we have 5 methods to use CBD.
Okay.
I've got them listed right here. Inhalation, right, which is smoking or vaping.
Okay.
And then sublingual oils,
So
which
it's like
is
under
a
the
CBD oil under your tongue. You can also put it in your nasal cavities, any mucous membrane area. It works pretty well there.
Okay.
And then topically, topical is amazing pain relief.
That's what you're seeing, like in the stores. There's like CBD cream and like muscle rubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just have to be careful because some of them, they make the claim of hemp, but there's really no CBD or cannabinoid in it. It's hemp seed oil, which is a wonderful oil, and eat it and it's great, but there's no cannabinoids in it.
Okay. So just ask those questions when you're buying the product.
Yeah, read the label.
Okay. Okay. And
Right.
then there's one more, I think, right?
Yeah, so there's topical, and then there's ingestions, and so that would be capsules, gummies, crackers. We even have CBD infused coffee and sugar.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. And then last but definitely not least is basically the suppositories. Why not least is because the efficacy is far greater using that method than any other. Typically with vaginal, the women use that for menstrual cramps. Works amazing. And then for patients that are dealing with cancers and very severe
That
illnesses.
might need a higher dose, maybe.
Well, the thing is, if they need to include some THC in their program,
Oh, okay.
right? You can do a real high dose without getting stoned by using rectal
And
suppositories.
I think that's a really big draw for a lot of people because they still want to be able to think and be on the ball, but they still want the medical benefits. So
Oh,
this
yes.
CBD is great. And so tell me, since we just have about a little over a minute left, tell me about your store again so we can get your store out there. And I think, do we have a little tag that we can put up as well with the address? Oh,
I'll tell you what it is.
All
It's
right.
all good.
all right.
So we're at 1400 South Highway 160 in the same building with Pahrump Pistachios, which is a little south of the Saddle West, Johnny's Tacos, and then we're the next
Okay.
block down.
Okay.
And in the store, we carry hemp, raw plant. You can buy a pound of it, all prepared. You can also buy their smokable hemp, boutique grown hemp, for people that want to smoke it. We have a vast array of pain medications and CBD oils for pets too. Let's not forget
Oh,
pets.
yeah.
This is
We have to
huge
do
for
another
the
show
heart.
now. A whole nother show just for the pets.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding now. He's got to book another show.
So there's a lot of options there. Stop
Okay.
by. We
Do you
give
have a Facebook
samples.
page?
We do. It's all about hemp. Pahrump would be the
Okay.
search.
Go find him on Facebook, and you can also like Community Viewpoint KPVM on Facebook. Thank you so much for coming. He'll
Thank
be
you
back.
for having me.